What do we mean by operating environment? So we are looking at the environment in which an organization is doing business. And what factors have an impact on this environment? How is this environment shaped? Well, there are, let's say, at least 5 different categories of factors that have an impact on our business. First of all, the government. Is the government friendly towards business? What rules does the government implement in order to do business? Think of Oman. Important rules implemented by the government are the different free zones that exist in Oman. They have a major impact on the economy. And we have different laws, legal procedures. One law that has a very big impact on the economy is Omanization, for example. In other countries, we do not have these kind of rules, though these are examples where the government impacts the operating environment. The economy is another impact factor. Is the economy in a good state or in a less good state? So before COVID-19, the economy was more or less on an upwards trend, booming. This is a climate where a lot of investments are made, people spend money, consumers spend money, and business can grow easily. And then in the COVID situation, there were on the one hand new regulations by the government, on the other hand the economy, the people behaved differently, they were scared, they stopped spending a lot of money, they could not go on holiday, they were concerned about their family and their friends, though the economy went down. This also impacted the oil price, though again the economy went down, though the economic environment is a second major impact factor. A third impact factor is the competition. Competition can be beneficial for us or it can be negative for us. Of course, when we are in a business where we have a lot of competition, for example, let's say we are in electronic retailer business, there's a lot of competition by e-commerce companies, by other smaller and bigger shops that maybe easily charge lower prices, then this is bad for our business. On the other hand, it also forces us to stay on top of things, to be innovative and to strive. Another point where competition can be very good is when you look at employees or although it on government regulation. So take, for example, the Silicon Valley. Yeah? The Silicon Valley in San Francisco is the headquarters of many famous IT companies like Google or Alphabet, like Apple, and many, many more. And the good thing is the companies are not competing in this area about the final customers, but they attract a lot of employees. And when you maybe are no longer interested to work for Google, you can easily work for Apple maybe. Without moving, there are a lot of competitive employees in this area. So because there is competition, you are also easier. It is easier for you as a company to find new employees, and for you as an employee, it is easier to move on and to find something else without going to another country, for example. Technology is another factor that impacts the competition. With the rise of smartphones, people have more application power at their homes. For example, think of a world without Google Maps. How will you be able to share location? How will you be able to implement transportation services? All these things will be much more difficult if you do not have recent technology, if you cannot use recent technology, for example, like Google Maps. And though the available technology plays a major impact. For example, what is very good in Oman is the availability of fiber internet. Yeah, many houses have access to fast internet. This is way faster than in many European cities. Although European cities, of course, also have access to the internet, but for many people, having an internet connection of that is faster than 50 megabit per second is very luxurious. Yeah? You find this in the biggest cities, but not everyone has access to this. For example, my parents, they live in a small city of 12,000 people, and for them the fastest internet option that they can get in Germany is 16 megabit per second. This is one of the slowest packages that you can buy here in Oman. And for companies, this can be very difficult. For example, my brother was working in a leading company that created very specific printing solutions, and they were not even able to do a cloud backup overnight because the internet connection was so slow. So the available technology can have a major impact on your operating environment. And finally, the available customers and their demand are another factor that contribute to the operating environment.